Now here in this final section, we share the practice that teachers have shared with us. We look at how schools are helping their pupils to get to know and to value themselves, how to manage their emotions, and how to be assertive and manage risks. Lovely examples here from Billesley Primary School in Birmingham, where they've built safe spaces throughout the school where children can go when they need a bit of support to manage their emotions. My understanding is that there will be learning mentors or people on hand to talk to the children about their feelings if they need that, or just a space to quietly calm down and think about how they're feeling and how to shift that feeling. So a lovely example there of a really cosy, nice space to be in if you needed a little bit of time out. So how might we keep the learning alive? I think my all-time favourite activity, and I wish we had more time to go into this, is using zoning across the curriculum. And you can see in the illustration here that this particular school has selected 4 zones that children might be in. The green zone is the one we want children to return to, either from blue, where they're feeling perhaps a little bit down or bored or sad. The yellow zone, where they're feeling a bit nervous or confused or fed up and not really wanting to be engaging with work. And then the red zone, where they're actually quite out of control, either angry or scared or frustrated. All of this is taught. There's a really full account on the website, on the SEAL community website, and I've put a link in there, Introducing Zoning, a Teacher Explains, and it really is a very full account of how you might introduce this in school. Now this goes across the curriculum and children can think all the time about which zone they're in. And I do like this because I think it links it to learning. You know, it's all about where are you in relation to learning. So, you know, very, very helpful indeed, I find it. So that's one that I would highly recommend. Other ones we've talked about: check-ins, check-ups and check-outs. So check-ups halfway through and check-outs at the end, perhaps as part of your plenary. Always useful for the reasons that we've discussed earlier. And lots of ways of doing it, of course, from a kind of thumbs up, thumbs middle, thumbs down, right the way through to the more elaborate check-in, sort of physical check-ins that we've seen earlier in the video. Safe spaces, just had a quick look at some of those in the previous slide, and worry boxes, which came up, I know, in an earlier section. So worry box in the classroom, setting up circle time, bubble time, all these things to give children a forum for discussing their worries at an appropriate level. So bubble time, one-to-one, if they don't feel comfortable sharing in the circle. So all of those things have really fit into this kind of, this theme and the topics that we've looked at in this session. Another example from a school in Manchester, Kings Road Primary. All the classrooms have an emoticon board. Pupils have a label with their name on, and they attach it to the emoticon that they feel best represents their mood. They've actually been doing this for 3 years now, and staff have noticed a really positive impact. I think probably when we were talking about check-ins earlier, you know, there's not just the teacher who is able to kind of notice if any child is feeling particularly down and maybe have a quiet word with them, but also other children become more aware of how their peers and their friends are feeling. So all in all, thoroughly good thing. Similar idea here. This is another primary academy in Oldham, and they use memes, which I also quite like. There's, you know, fantastic stuff out there, isn't there? Funny stuff on the internet that you can use, you know, to kind of really engage children rather than the feeling faces, if they have had enough of those, perhaps. So they talk to the friends. So we've talked before about how that check-in, you know, the actual name it to tame it, but then talk about it and free up that emotional static so that children are ready to learn. The GIFs, I've only recently discovered GIFs myself, being very, very old, but I think they're absolutely great for secondary students, you know, choosing a GIF that that shows how you feel at this moment. And this one that I have put here, I have used so many times. It's that kind of angry, this little girl shaking her hair, brushing it, and it just kind of sums up how we can feel at times. So yeah, they just different ways really of representing, of achieving the same learning outcome at age appropriate levels, and having a kind of good laugh along the way as well. Teacher devised feeling quizzes. So again, on the website, I put a link in there to some lovely PowerPoints that teachers have put together with all sorts of quizzes about feelings. This one I thought was really worth sharing as well, because we haven't talked a lot about taking the learning home. Certainly the SEAL materials do offer a parent or a family pack. So the gold pack on the website, you'll see there's the curriculum packs, which are red, blue, yellow and green. There's also small group work, which is silver. We call that the silver set. But there's also family packs, which are the gold set. And there's lots of ideas for taking home learning from the specific area that you're working on. But I thought this was particularly lovely. This is from class DoJo, and the children watch some videos in school. They then take the link home and they watch it with their parents or somebody within their family or extended family. And there's just little tasks that they can do, not like not to be seen as homework, but just kind of good fun, talky things that they can do with members of their family. And of course, that enables the same concepts that are being taught in school to be shared within the home. So I do particularly like that one. So now it's over to you. What we're hoping, as always, is that you will share your ideas with us, so that when we add to this collection, we can include your ideas on organising whole school resources, good ways to do that, supporting students in knowing and valuing themselves, recognising, understanding, managing their feelings, and developing and practicing the skills of assertiveness and risk management. So, you know, how do you keep all this going with so many competing priorities? Anything that you'd like to send us, photos, videos, displays, descriptions, you can do it in a phone call if you want to, you can do it in an email. Just contact myself or Jean at this email here, and we'd be absolutely delighted to talk to you about what you're doing and see if we can feature it in the next one of the next sessions. So we are at the final pause for reflection and application, just before we look at the takeaways for this theme. And as always, we're going to ask you to just, either in a group or individually, if you're working individually, share or write down one thing that you'll use, something that moved you, something you'll remember, and something that you will chuck in the bin. I never can use that. Don't like that. That's fine. Chuck that one in the bin. And then write down 3 things that you're going to try and do within a week to apply the learning from this module. And while we're here at this almost final slide, don't forget you can download all of the SEAL materials in English or Welsh medium from the www.sealcommunity.org. So we look forward to seeing you there. And in the meantime, here's your first takeaway. And once again, there's a link there to the self-assessment booklets, which go through right from early years to year 6. And I would say that a lot of the stuff for year 6 is probably appropriate for secondary school children too. So have a look at that, even if you're secondary. And there's a link there. The booklet covers the topics that we've covered within this theme. So knowing, valuing myself, understanding and managing feelings, and assertiveness and risk management. Your second takeaway is yoga for kids, and this is with thanks to Kids Yoga Stories, and a really lovely little set of yoga instructions and pictures that you can share with children. So as part of that kind of relaxation and management of feelings, management of stress, lovely thing to do in your safe spaces. Okay, so that's it for this theme, and thank you very much again for listening, and we do look forward to hearing from you if you're able to share what you do with us. Thank you.